I'm Emrys, or Riss, or Reese, whatever you want to call me that. As long as it's similar to my name, I don't care. But I've never made a YouTube video just talking before, so hopefully this goes well. I have notes because I'm too structured. It's not a great habit of mine, but I'm very structured. So I need notes, and I have ADHD, so I'm gonna go rambling off on other topics without paying attention to what I'm saying and what I'm trying to say. But I am a huge drama fan. I don't know what to call it. I started out watching K-dramas, and then I got into BLs because I'm gay. And then from there I've watched Japanese dramas, Chinese dramas, and Thai dramas. I've not watched Taiwanese dramas, so sorry about that, but they scare me. I've seen too many edits, and then immediately it's like, oh, and they're siblings. Thank you for that. So I've been too intimidated, but I especially love Thai dramas. They heal something in me. I love them. And I get like attached to the pairings, so I'll watch multiple series with that pairing that I'm attached to at that time. Like, my first ever Thai drama was The Heart Killers. So then I watched The Eclipse and the June Dunk shows. Star in My Mind. I've watched a bunch of those. And my recent pairing fixation was Jimmy C. So I watched The Last Twilight, and I'm currently watching The Last Prophecy? I don't remember the title. I'm so sorry. But I've been catching up on all their stuff, and the one I recently watched is Vice Versa. Because Vice Versa is an amazing show, but there's like such specific things about it that drive me crazy that I want to be expanded on. Basically, if you've never watched Vice Versa, which I kind of doubt because you're watching this video. If you've never watched Vice Versa, there's 4 main characters, technically. I say technically because there's really just 2. Basically, it is a body swap with alternate universes. So, C's character, Tele, he just got a job. They're celebrating at the ocean, and he ends up getting caught up in the current, and he drowns, and he wakes up in the body of Tess. But he doesn't just wake up there. He also finds out that he's in an alternate universe, and that there are other people that experience the same thing, that they experience death, and then they switch with someone in this alternate universe, or in the other universe. And they have to find their port key, which is a person that has also been switched, in order for both of them to go back home to their own universe. It's a bit complicated, but I just blinded myself, but it's an incredible plot, and it's so creative, and it's so cool to watch. Now, I love this show, and I want to preface what I'm about to complain about saying that I love this show because it's an amazing and very unique and not advertised enough show. Like, this deserved to be more popular than it is. But there's so many things about it that just frustrated me whenever I was watching it. One of those being the lack of explaining the alternate universe. Like, how deep does this alternate universe go? They all have all kinds of like simple things that they put in there, but some of it is not explained, and you just kind of have to realize that this is different. Like, paper is clear. Right, I would love to know why, because that's such an inconvenience. Like, that doesn't, like, the alternate universe seems so goofy, but also the alternate universe has gay marriage legalized. And this was made in 2021, 2022, I'm not sure which one. This alternate universe has gay marriage legalized, but it also has clear paper. And their birthday cake is cotton candy, and they don't blow on candles, they just stare at them until they go out. Right. I need some explanations. Of course, that doesn't really matter. This also, like, it's not necessary to explain this, of course. Most of this is done for comedy purposes, except for the clear paper, that I don't think there's ever, like, a scene where it's like, oh, and paper is clear. Right, why? But the birthday cake, and then the lilies and, is it lilies instead of roses? Like, those are a part of the plot. They're like this thing that's like, oh, this is different here. But some of it's just different, and you just kind of have to roll with it and hope that that makes sense. Like, hope that it's not important or anything. I would have loved more world building with that, but, like, of course the show is more focused on them getting back and then finding the port key and everything. So I understand them not doing that. A bigger problem I have, this is like organized from least important to most important. Another problem I have is there's so much product placement in this show. Like, you think you've seen a show with way too much product placement, watch this show and you'll want to die. Because they're cleaning each other's faces with this water, like this cleanser, and like holding the brand up. They're eating Lay's. And it starts like halfway through the show. It's not even the whole show from what I could tell, except for that tea, which it's just like there. And they do, to their credit, they try to tie it into the plot, but it's also like it's just at a point where it's too much and it's not a part of the plot anymore. It's just weird. But that's like every Thai show. That's gonna happen because they need funding, and I get it. It's just like, be warned, halfway through the show it's gonna all come crashing in, and they're cleaning each other's faces, they're drinking that tea and constantly saying that there's 0 sugar and how nice it is. They're going to be eating those Lay's chips. There was something else that they had. I can't remember what the other thing is, but it's so obvious that it hurts. But I get it. Again, not my biggest concern. Another thing is, a bigger thing, is that there's no information on what's happening in Tale and Poon's universe whenever they're switched over. Like, it's just nothing. They're just stuck in that universe. We only have that perspective. We don't have Tess and Tun's perspective at all. We don't know what's happening with them. The whole show, I was anxious. Like, every single time he mentioned his universe, I was like, right, what is happening? Why aren't we seeing that? I need to know what's going on. But it never at all, like, it didn't go over that part at all. And that drove me a bit crazy, because I want to know. Like, I want to know what's happening on the other universe. And then later on, to tie this into my last point on this list, later on you do find out what's happening, and it's awful for Tale. It's awful for Tale, because Tess is a piece of trash. I really thought I created this delusion in my head that in Tale's universe, Tess was getting better. Especially whenever Tun came back at the end of the show. Spoilers, obviously. I'm talking about the show. But whenever Tun came back from his universe and Tale was stuck there, and Tun hugged who he thought was Tess and was like, we're back in our universe, and he was happy about it, I assumed in my dumb brain that means in Tale's universe, Tess has somehow fixed his and Tun's friendship and probably not messed up Tale's life that much. But I was wrong, obviously, because Talay goes back and everything is messed up. Talay spent, this is 2 years where Talay is stuck in this place. And it's less for Puin, because I think it's already been a couple months. It was like 3 or 4 months, Talay said, where he had been there. And Puin arrived. Well, no. It might have been 2 or 3. But Talay was there for 2 years. And we know that for a fact because at like the last episode, his friends are like, it's been 2 years since you've talked to any of us. Meaning 2 years since they switched bodies and Tess started messing up his life. Basically, it drives me crazy, but Talay spent these 2 years not only making sure that Tess's life wasn't messed up, but actually improving it. Improving his friendships, creating friendships with Ton and Ton's friends. Becoming a better person, just like reputation-wise, getting closer with his family, especially his dad, literally fixing his relationship with his dad. And he does all this. He creates a popular movie with Ton's friends and Puin. He does all this and then gets sent home just to find out that Tess has literally ruined his life. And it's literally a guy. It's the same thing as a guy in the early part of the movie being like, hey, I came back and my house was sold. I was divorced from my wife. I lost my job. I couldn't get a job in this industry anymore. Literally, that's what Talay's life almost was. I say almost because Tess didn't ruin his reputation and stop him from being able to get his job back, because Talay was able to get his job back. But imagine finally thinking that you're coming home from this stress-ridden world that you've been stuck in for 2 years, and then finding out that your whole life you have to basically fix it in a couple of days, and then also find a way to reunite with the person that you fell in love with in this alternative universe without knowing how to reach them because they're famous. And the note was just slammed on a door and then dropped, and Tess didn't even care enough to make sure that there was something in place that Talay could see whenever he came back. He only did that because Puin asked him to. Like, put a sticky note, put a note so that he knows. And he just slapped on a random door and then let it fall. I would have an open notebook at all times written like, hey, in case you're back, and then have all information that you need. He's just not considerate. This first scene, his scenes in this universe, he was playing video games, not doing anything. And that drives me crazy because Ton deserves better. He's gonna go back to that universe and Ton's probably gonna still like him. The real Ton. Ton's probably still gonna like him, and I hate that. I don't want to see that. But we don't see it because we don't ever see their side of things. Okay. That's all I have to complain about. Now, I do have a lot of things to appreciate because I like compliment sandwiches. I already gave my compliments to how much I love this show, and now I've done my critiques. And here's my appreciation. This show is amazing. I complain about this stuff a lot. Like, I'm creating a video just to complain about this stuff, but I also need to highlight that this show is actually incredible and it deserves so much more. And I need people to watch it. The concept is so unique. Alternative universes and body swap to where they have to find a way to get home. That's so cool. And while it's not really thoroughly explained, it's still an incredible concept that I'm glad was created. Like, I'm so glad the show was made because it's so creative, and I feel like if it was made now, it would have been a way bigger hit than it is. Another thing is the relationships and the chemistry is they're all really good. Like, there's never a time watching this show where I feel like this is fake, where they don't get along that well. And I think a part of it is because all the actors have worked together before. I'm not sure if they all work together in Bad Buddy, but some of them work together in Bad Buddy. I know Jimmy, I can never say the names that well, and Nanon. Obviously, they were all in Bad Buddy, but I believe that's why, because they're familiar with each other, but the relationships are incredible. I never felt like there was something off about it or awkward. It felt very genuine and good. The characters are also mostly dynamic. I feel like the character Up could be more dynamic, but he's also a side character, so you can't expect them to like go out of their way to make every character have an interesting emotional moment when there's only so much time in a show. I love all the little guest roles. I love that. I love seeing actors in this show just being themselves, or being like not themselves, but like they're seen as celebrities in Talay and Puin's world, and then they're just like characters in this world. I really love that. I think it's really funny, and I love all the guest appearances. Like Gunn was in it, and that was really cool. Also, I love the thing I got most upset about was not seeing the side characters' relationships fully. Like, we got some of Album's couple relationship. I don't remember their characters' names. I'm so sorry. But we got some of them, and I really love that. That was so cute. But we didn't get Milk Love. I was so excited to see them. I was like, yes, my queens. And then they met up. They saw each other in the maze, and then nothing else happened. It was done. And I really wish they would have hinted at that more later on, that they went home or something. Of course, they don't always have time for that, and a lot of their stuff was like just trying to sneak iconic couples and actors in there. And I get that. I just wanted more with the side relationships. Okay. I'm like checking my notes. Oh, another appreciation that like I geeked out about whenever I was watching it was the editing and the way that how they would show who was in the body, because my voice is not used to talking this steady for this long, so I'm sorry if it breaks. There's nothing I can do about it. But the editing is something I really loved and adored, because an example of what I really loved about it was when they showed who was in that body at that time, because it was my favorite moment of this. Maybe not my favorite. One moment of this is when Puin is first in Tun's body, and he comes back, and he's sitting at the... Anyway, when it switches, when he first comes back, when it does a little... It always, like, passes by a person. It's the other person. And I love that camera trick that they keep doing, or, like, editing trick. I love it so much. I know they do it at the ending, like, around the ending episodes. They do it whenever Puin goes back and Tun is there, but Talay is still there. It's like just a little camera trick going behind his head, and then it's Tun that's actually there, or Parkorn. Parkorn? What are they calling him? Pakorn. That name. And it's him. And I love that editing trick. It's so fun to watch. It makes me geek out every single time. I love it. And I love this show as a whole. It's a great show. And I've already recommended it to my friends that watch dramas, because it's so good. And I fell in love with it. And the reuniting scene, there's so many, you can tell the editors and like the writers really thought things through whenever they were making it, because there's so many scenes where it's parallel to scenes later on. Like when they're back in their own bodies, there's a lot of parallel scenes from when they were in the other universe, and I love that so much. There's also scenes like directly referencing the other universe, like whenever there was a scene whenever Puin and Tale were talking in the other universe, and Tale was like, I'm gonna call you Dang the first time I see you in the other universe, and then he like makes a joke and he's joking and everything, but he does call him Dang whenever he first reunites with him. But it's like a really emotional moment, and it's like a shocking moment that he actually did call him that. This was such a small-ish scene, like it was just them joking around, but it's actually referenced, and it is how he greets him for the first time. And I really love this show. You can tell the people that made it truly loved it too, and the actors, they all look like they're having a good time, and that's one thing I really enjoy about a show, whenever the actors seem to be enjoying it. That's pretty much everything I want to talk about. I keep blinding myself with this. I have like a sunset lamp pointed at the wall and a lamp over here, and the blinds open. I have way too much lighting going on. But I don't know why I was so compelled to make this video. It's just something that I kept wanting to rant about, and I couldn't rant about it to my friends anymore because they've already heard me talk about this show. I've already complained to them about it, but I just really wanted to get this out there because I love the show and it deserves more appreciation. It deserves to be appreciated, and I think I think more people need to watch the show. That's what I'm trying to say. If you get anything from this video, watch. It's just that you should watch vice versa now, because it's really good. The only thing you have to do is ignore the product placement and know that Tess is awful, and that's it, because it's a beautiful show and I love it. And that's all I have to say about it. That sums up all my emotions on it. I'm done. I will probably make a rant video like this in the future if I ever get motivation, which I doubt I will, because I hate editing these videos. If I made more videos, I would ask a friend to edit it, but I don't make enough videos, and I don't want people seeing these videos before they're edited. That's all. Also, I'm wearing a P1 Harmony shirt. Okay. I hope everyone has a great day. I hope y'all aren't stressed out about anything. I know I am, so I hope y'all aren't. And have a good day. Have a great day. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.